Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is October 14th, 2021, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. markets bottom out and they look like they're bouncing right before we get into corporate session. But before we get to that, let's discuss the major economic events of the day at 2:30 South African time out of the United States. We have monthly PPI number coming out, and then we have a bunch of corporate earnings coming out from financial institutions and banks, as we spoke about. Bank of America, Citibank, and Morgan Stanley. Now, looking at the various markets, the euro rallies to resistance in terms of the indices. The Dow Jones and the NASDAQ get a great bounce. In terms of the commodities, gold within range and getting closer to that 1800 level, and oil gains to new record highs. Now, looking at the stocks, it's a mixed bag. And lastly, Bitcoin bounces off support after hitting that resistance. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're looking at the Euro USD 4-hour chart. You could see that we had this nice rally from 1530 to 1620-ish level. Right there is where we topped out. Now this is what's disconcerting, because we're looking like we're hitting this previous resistance-ish area. If you look at a daily chart a little bit better, then you got to revert to a weekly chart because it's at that stage. So did it breach this support level? Yes, it did. But is it considered like continues to sell? I'm not sure. Okay, at this stage I wouldn't pick tops or big bottoms, but keep a close eye on it on a 4-hour chart to see if it does break down here at 1578. If it breaks down below 1578, then it's going to probably break down further. Now looking at the Gbp Usd, we're at that resistance also. Okay, after hitting that low of 134.20-ish one to 37.13. Okay, that is a different picture right now. Now looking at the other commodities, okay, we're going to look at crude oil hitting that high and then just retracing just a little bit here, as you could see on a 4-hour chart, and then it just bounces higher. Now looking at gold, nice little pivot move up to 1798, but it's really just trading in a range, ultimately speaking. Now looking at the US markets, looking at first this big board 34,500-ish level, we had this nice little rally after we sold off after hitting this high of 34,800-ish level. Now remember, we're hitting the rocket season of corporate earnings, and today it's going to be hitting it off. Now looking at the US tech, also rallying nicely to the top of the range here, 14,908. Now looking at Apple, it's dead. Okay, it's not bouncing, and that's really because of distribution issues. Looking at Facebook, also not very strong. Microsoft does get that bounce, so a little bit more optimistic there. Now looking at Amazon, okay, you're getting a 32.76, but it's not bouncing higher. Okay, if we look at a daily chart, you can see it's pretty much just sideways trading. Now looking lastly at Bitcoin, a nice sell-off for 58,451, but now we're getting that bounce. So possibly we'll get that bounce later today if that continues to rally into the end of the day. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.